Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and 3rd pick in the 2018 draft.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
First carry for James Conner. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
He takes us from the 30 to the 34. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter this one number 13, Charles, in the NFL in stopping the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels.
Let's go. That's how we do, D. That's how we do. They don't want no. They don't want no.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Ravens now as they get set for their opening possession. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
He'll run it. And right away, he lost the football.
Let's go.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Double tight. Everyone's got 4 down.
They run the counter. Vaughn. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And now an introduction here to the starting 11 on offense.
Let's take a look at Willie Snead, wide receiver, undrafted coming into the league. He's the quintessential coach's son, knows how to play the game so well, and plays it with joy.
Here's Travis Homer, the former Miami Hurricane, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Now, the good thing for you, partner, is you're not as old as I am, okay?
That's true.
So back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, the right side of an offensive line was almost always your power side. Your bigger, stronger, physical guys. And on this play, they tossed it right and looked like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but that's not the case so much anymore, you're saying, with the bigger guys?
Not necessarily.
You just find the best guys, plug them in on your O-line.
Right. As a general rule now, you're a lot more balanced on your offensive line. They might still lean towards your best pass blocker on the left side.
Sure.
But not necessarily all the time.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. A check on the numbers last week for Connor. 19 carries, 112 yards, and a touchdown.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Darnold on 3rd down. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there.
Giorgio Tavecchio on for the field goal. A 37-yard attempt.
And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Ravens are going to get the football back.
Brought down back at the 29-yard line.
And the Ravens taking the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Stephon Tuitt's game continues to gain notice and respect. He's a long defensive end, but has great ability to bend and get leverage. Can take on blockers at the point of attack and also shows skill in rushing the passer.
You mentioned he's long, 6'7", over 315 pounds. Man, he is huge. On second down, it's Vaughn. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Jackson. He may try and run for this. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. Slam.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll run on first down. It's Vaughn, and he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 65 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him.
Here we go.
This is Homer. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Bust through the tackle.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down. Hey, check.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to Connor here on 1st. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Darnold. And he fires one incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 29-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Slam, slam, slam.
Now Connor. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Mike's 40, Mike's 40.
Off of play action, Darnold. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Kyler Fackrell just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
But enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Check. Fresno.
On 1st down, Vaughn. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
James Washington was the intended target, and now it's 3rd down. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold, and that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run this with Homer. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Jackson sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Going on the ground with Homer. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. That is caught at the 7-yard line. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Here we go.
On first down, Darnold firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On the draw, Connor. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
You got three. Three down.
Trying to get the first with Samuels. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run with Connor, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
It's easy working. It's coming again. Check.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold, and he slings one that's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. To the air again, Darnold. The quick slant caught, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Jackson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught at the 20. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play that time for the Ravens. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Jackson on 1st down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Ravens have retaken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterbacks.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Danny Trevathan. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now here come the Ravens. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Orlando Brown guilty of the infraction there. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Vaughn. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
All day, baby, all day.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson, and he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Vaughn. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. On 2nd down now. It's Vaughn. Now the ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Darnold got an open man. It's Washington. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st. On 1st and 10, Darnold. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Darnold completes it. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Come on, dude.
From the 17, Darnold. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Quick throw taken in by Snead. And down he'll go at the 25. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. So possession goes over here on the punt, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Here's the Ravens defense as they head out to set up shop. And we watch now how effective they've been, how disruptive they've been in the backfield.
And what's been so difficult for the offense is that you know that they spent all week rehearsing these things, working on blitz pickups, protections, knowing where the pressure is likely to come from. They've read the scouting reports. They've watched the tape. But sometimes under pressure, that coordination breaks down, and I think that's what we're seeing here.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my...
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Kyler Fackrell able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's pulled in at the 32. 12 yards on the return that time, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Meanwhile, over in Cincinnati, now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
There's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold, Jonathan Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
I'm scared.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Darnold now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a toss. This is Conner. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Mike's 59. 3 buzz, 3 buzz.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides. No flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Tavecchio puts this one through, and that's going to tie us at 13. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Vaughn. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Vaughn. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. Whoa, this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Vaughn. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. To throw is Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Check 13. Check 13.
On first down, it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. It's Darnold. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Quit talking about it.
Darnold from the gun. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's gonna have to...
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Back to throw, Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. And his pass incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
Again, Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
They can't hang with us.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And a give this time to the tailback. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Jackson now. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Jackson. He can run. Touchdown, Ravens. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Tucker now to add the point after. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's 3rd and short. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tight end left, tight end left. 4 down, check, 4 down.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Pass play there, but it's incomplete. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Darnold. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Darnold now to throw. He'll get that one complete to Connor. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
Let's go.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He's back to throw, and the throw there going to be incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Coming back out to take the field, Mark Andrews and company. And a bounce back here for him after a slow start. And sometimes that's how it goes with tight ends. Those catches in their games, they can go in waves at that position.
And you get so locked into stopping them that you think, okay, hey, look at that. We've held them down. And the best ones, you really don't hold down for an entire game. They're going to get their catches. Your job is to keep them from being big-time catches that break you down totally.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They run the counter. It's Vaughn. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Check 50.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of. But now it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Ravens, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.